everyone, welcome back to another on the Football Zone, and today we're looking at Chelsea and Tottenham, two Big Six club managers who have endured pretty disappointing seasons and are currently without a manager. Let's get into who I think should replace each of Graham Potter and Antonio Conte, starting off with Chelsea, and I'm going to say Julian Nagelsmann to Chelsea. Yeah, I just think this fits right. Rumours that Graham Potter will be replaced with Frank Lampard on a caretaker basis to the end of the season. That just seems pretty mental to me. Like, what was the point of sacking Potter just to appoint Lampard to the end of the season? Yeah, it just doesn't make sense for me. But in the long term, I think Nagelsmann is the right fit. He'll be backed. We've seen that with Bowley. And yeah, there's a talented squad there. It just needs someone to unlock it. I think we've seen that. And Nagelsmann's still young, still one of the top managers in the world. And with the backing that the likes of Potter got, even Tuchel got in the summer, I could really see him doing something special there. It won't take time. It may take overnight. But I do think, even though Potter didn't last very long, there are signs that Bowley will back a manager. Considering Roman Abramovich probably would have sacked Potter by Christmas, it was that bad. I think Nagelsmann, one of the most outgoing coaches in the world. And then when you compare it to Tottenham and all the managers that failed out, I just think he'll have a much higher chance of succeeding at Chelsea. At the moment it's just a club with a lot more potential, which is why I think Nagelsmann to Chelsea kind of would be the perfect fit and could easily have the Blues back fighting for the Champions League and the Premier League positions. Moving on then to Tottenham, and I think the best thing Tottenham could do is bring back Mauricio Pochettino. For me, it just makes sense. I mean, there are rumours of a bit of a strained relationship between Daniel Levy and Pochettino. Levy wouldn't go back on his words, and to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if that's true at all, but surely they just have to put it behind them in the past, because let's face it, when you've had world-class managers like Jose Mourinho and Antonio Conte try and fail at Tottenham, you know there is something seriously wrong at that football club, and it needs change. And I think the last time they were somewhat successful was when Pochettino was in charge. He knew what it was. He rebuilt that club, and ever since he left, it's all gone downhill. So surely it just makes sense. He's only a year out of the game. He still loves Tottenham. I think Tottenham still loves him. It just makes sense for him to go back and have another crack at the whip, considering the managers he's been more successful for. It just seems like them and Tottenham fit right. And, maybe even a manager that Harry Kane really loved working with, got him to the Champions League final, finished second in the Premier League a few times. It could persuade the likes of Harry Kane to stay. Just in general, he knew how to manage Tottenham, it just fits right. I think he's not going to go in demanding ridiculous amounts of money that maybe a manager like Nagelsmann or someone like that would. He could build the club up from the poor position it's in now, up towards potentially where they were in his peak days at Tottenham. That for me, it just makes sense to go back to everything where it just all worked better in the past, really. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, don't talk, comment, and if you want to for daily football news and subscribe for the channel, comment, I would greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.